Hello. Is this thing on? Hello? Hi! Hello, I'm here. How is everybody? How you doing? How are you doing? Who is here? Hello, M0. Hello. Nightmind. You never know when Psydere shows up. So true. Good evening. She's in your walls. I may or may not be. Hello, Seon. Here for my daily scrum meeting. It's true. It's true. We're all here for the scrum meeting. At this rate, they're gonna turn into stand-ups. Hi, Fine. Hi, Sirix. Thank you for and hi Azure Legends. Welcome in. Thank you for the cross-platform raid. There you go. You weren't a one-man raid party after all. You're actually a multicellular raid party. Well done. In case anybody isn't aware, I have a special thingy for this. Fire's evolving. So true. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. Look at my announcement. Isn't it wonderful? If you're not already subscribed to the vTheorem people on YouTube and following the vTheorem people on Twitch, all of them, go and do it. And that includes Fi. That includes Fi. I feel like I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. This is the first time I've ever had a cross-platform raid. I'm very stressed. But I imagine you've just finished quite a long stream because I think you said you were starting it a while ago. So if you need to go and rest, absolutely go do that. Like, go drink some water, stretch, go do that. Go do that. But hi, everybody. Let me finish saying hi to everyone. Potter, hello. Hi, how you doing? Hi, Bushy. Here again, and guess what? Of course, I have another assignment due Sunday, but I am here. Of course, classic. Isn't Sunday tomorrow? I live in fear. You can do it. Hi, Yoavco. Stream be streaming again. I know. The never-ending stream. It doesn't stop. There's going to be more and more of them. They're propagating exponentially. I don't know what's going on. Make it stop. Stop the ride. I want to get off. No, I don't. It's fine. Almost 25% of AI or AI-adjacent researchers are on sabbatical. What does that mean? I've always wondered what a sabbatical actually involves, because every single person that I know who's done a sabbatical, they basically just went away to a different country and wrote a book in a cabin. Or like, there was one person actually I knew who did a sabbatical and they just did a tour of every single university in Europe pretty much. Like, it was quite impressive. I feel like chat's more responsive for some reason. I think, yes, there isn't as much of a delay. Yeah, there's only like a 4-second delay right now, so that might be why. That might be why. Hi, Astro. How are you doing? How you doing? I think I said hi to everyone there. Multicellular organism getting stronger. It's so true. We are powerful. We are powerful in numbers. They can't stop all of us. From a white blood cell to a Raffaello. That's so true, actually. Although I'm not a fan. I'm sorry. Have we considered that there's a potential for a collaboration there, though? Like, there is a vague resemblance going on there, so I think that's a potential collaboration. Merch idea? I would have done a proper cross-platform raid if I'd known. I mean, to be fair, I would have told you if I'd known, but I didn't know until literally like 5 minutes beforehand. And then I was like, I'm a stream. And then husband was like, okay. And then that was that. Then we were doing it. Never know when you're gonna get hit by the stream. I also never know. I never know. Hi, Lankuri. How you doing? How you doing? It is due tomorrow. I'm just cutting down the word count on this legal memo. Okay, that's fair enough. That's not too hard. Cutting down words is like, you can kind of switch your brain off territory. At least for me, it comes quite naturally. I hope it's the same for you. If not, focus on that instead. You shouldn't be here. By the end of February, the streams will be continuous, genuinely. They are increasing at an exponential rate. At this rate, I will be streaming every single day, every single hour. I'll be doing a continuous subathon with no end. It would be terrible. Nobody wants that. Everyone's starting to get to the point of like, why is she here again? You don't even go here. No. Okay, that's been vetoed. No continuous subathon. Sad. Sad times. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But maybe a subathon of some kind. No, we're not doing that. I don't know if I can even get the time off work, actually. I could try. A sabbatical is a rest or break from work, an extended period of time intentionally spent on doing something that's not your routine job. Yes, that is true. That is indeed what a sabbatical is. Yes. When academics do it, they normally go away. So normally what happens is they get like time off from their teaching so that they can just focus on research and writing for the year or for 6 months or whatever. So yeah, the people that I knew, one of them like moved to Canada and then just like wrote a book and did a bunch of research. And then another one did a tour of like, I wish I was joking. I think every single university it felt like every single social psychology department in the UK and Ireland and the Netherlands, this person turned up at. It was very cool. I was watching it like, this is the coolest thing ever. Wild. I don't know either, but it does feel like deep thinking or philosophy. Yeah, I think it, yeah. So most of them, I think, use it so they can just focus on developing their ideas, because you do need focus time to be able to do that. And sometimes like taking a step away from what you're having to do on a daily basis is a really good way to do that. Hi, Light Armor, how you doing? Here, instead of doing research, literally same. Me every time I stream, I should probably be doing research right now. Oh well, it's fine. I'm not. Although actually, to be fair, when I do co-working, I'm researching and streaming at the same time, and that's called multitasking and efficiency, and we love that. That is why we have a high productivity economy. Oh dear. I'm all right. My class is starting 2 days, so I'm not excited about that. Oh, you'll be fine. You'll do great. You can do it. Be excited. You can do it. I'm cheering you on. Will you be excited if I cheer you on? Because I think we can make it fun. Cosmod doesn't let us have any fun. That's funny. He's preventing the subathon that everybody wants. I mean, in fairness, to be like, honestly, it's my general commitments are preventing the subathon. And also, I'm not sure if anyone actually would want that. So, yeah. Hi, Bobo. How you doing? It does indeed work. It works. Success. I'm just realizing, wow, why am I writing about the defendant's backstory and not telling why he got arrested? I mean, that's probably quite important. I provide you with minutes of free chat entertainment. Thank you very much. It's true. Let's be honest. Hosmod is the comedic backbone of this stream. It's not me. It's him. Academics going on vacation, like I'm gonna get so much more work done. I feel attacked. I legitimately feel attacked by that. I don't like that. Please, can you take me out of this image? I don't like it. Thank you. I actually find it really nice, like, to go to conferences, because like I get a lot of fear talking to new people. So I'm just driven by pure adrenaline and a significant amount of caffeine every time I go to a conference. So when I go to a conference, I always end up writing an entire paper while I'm there. So that's kind of weird. I think that's probably not the healthiest way to do it. Husbando is the quality assurance department for important things, which is definitely not foreshadowing. What? I'm scared. He plays an important role maintaining the quality. Oh man. How's Mod, you're doing so good. Wait, I need to cough. Amazing. I've made it 18 minutes in and instantly had to cough. This is going well. Hi, Aspirin Juice. How you doing? have questions that won't get answers? Yes. I mean, same, to be honest. I'm also wondering what the quality assurance is, because I'm second monitor content, so it's definitely not the stream. Oh, gosh. Posture check, thank you, and hydrate, thank you, and be mindful, thank you. Okay. Also, I realized I think I owe you one from yesterday. I think I forgot to do it again. Which reminds me, I have made. Did you change it on purpose so I can't afford it every single stream? No comment. No comment. No, it was actually because the backlog was starting to annoy me. I don't like the backlog being there, like trying to remember how many I owe you and how many I should have done and whether it should have been done in a Scottish accent or something. So I was like, I've set it now so that it's a higher number of channel points, and there's also a 3-day gap between it. Yeah. Yeah. But also because we're running out of cards. We've been burning through them so quickly. We looped back around to the Marcus Aurelius one already, and that's making me nervous. So, yeah. Yeah. We need to slow down. I'm at work again, but I'm happy to have my favorite orange yapper. I hope you have a good shift. I hope it goes quick and you don't have to deal with too many annoying things. Are you enjoying causing the backlog? That's rude. That's rude. Hi, not the brain. How you doing? Welcome in. What were you reading about yesterday? That's a good question. I don't remember. What was I reading yesterday? Wait. I can check in Zatero. But I read a few things. No, wait, I wasn't reading yesterday. I was reading last stream, which was 2 days ago, I think. I have a sense of time, I swear. And I read a paper about how research and development and marketing departments can be integrated together. It was quite old. It was from 1996. So it wasn't entirely up to date, let's put it that way. But they had a model for how the two things can be integrated together, and that's what I was reading. I was trying to work out how to do that. Yeah, that was what I was reading. I didn't read anything. No, that's not true. I did read it yesterday as well. I had to do stuff for work yesterday. I did like a work thing. And what did I do? I had to go somewhere on transport, and I read some stuff while I was on the transport, but I can't for the life of me remember what I was reading about actually. But I think it was to do something around my PhD. So yeah. Let's see. What QA? The PC failed 15 minutes before your celebration stream. That's true. That did happen. That did happen, and it was quite stressful, I'm not going to lie. But you fixed it, so clearly you're doing something right. Clearly you're doing something right. Hi, Psychologist, welcome in. How you doing? You only have one first time chat, and I wasted it on this. Did I break it? Welcome in. How you doing? Hello, fellow Psy. Yay! Another Psy. Let's go. Welcome in. Is everyone here into programming / computers? I wonder this too. Sometimes I wonder how many people in chat are like STEM people and how many people are not STEM people. But I guess that's kind of an arbitrary metric. I don't know. I'm interested, actually. I might do a poll. Wait. I'm gonna do a poll. Why? Oh, no. Okay, right. Do you study or work in a STEM field? Yes. No. I don't know what STEM is. STEM being like science, technology, engineering, or mathematics. One of those. That's what that means. So yeah, poll. I'm interested. I want to know. How does this work? Okay, I got it. It's working. Yeah, I'm really interested. Like, how many of you do STEM stuff? Because I have a feeling it's most of you. As a QA, you should install Nix OS on the machine so it's more reproducible and replicable. No, I'm okay, thank you. I'm okay. I do want to switch back to Linux at some point, though, to be honest. Like, that's my goal, is to eventually switch back to Linux. I just need to work out how to make VTubing work on it. I'm sure it's possible because I know other people do it. But, like, from what I've seen, a lot of the other people use live 2D models. So, yeah, we need to do some digging. Guess I'm lurking since it won't post to chat. Well, it's posting now, so why does it keep doing this to you, Bobo? This is very strange. Hi, Meta Knight. How you doing? Did I say hi to you already? Wait, I think I might have just, like, glitched. I'm sorry if I did. I might be reading things twice. I'm confused. I need to drink my tea, clearly. Unfortunately, I'm a leisurely Psy and not a hyper-intelligent professional Psy like yourself. I mean, that's still valid. That's still valid. I'm definitely not hyper intelligent though. I'm like, I mean, I know how intelligent I am, and it's definitely not hyper intelligent. Let's put it that way. The data collection continues. That's true. That's your study for the day. That's the study for the day. Hyper intelligent, yeah. Me studying to be a lawyer, but has a BS, meaning I'm an outlier even in the illegal field. Yeah, you are really, aren't you? Is psych a STEM field? I think so. It's so experimental psychology is classified as a STEM field according to the US government. Like, they have according to their, what is it? They've got like a list of things that they consider STEM for visa purposes, and experimental psychology is on there. So I would say so. I think cognitive psychology is on there too. Yeah. So if you do any kind of experimental or survey methods, then they consider it STEM. If you're doing like qualitative research or like practice, then they don't consider it STEM. Yeah. Lego just revealed a new set based around STEM. Very cool. I love that. I want to eventually do a Lego stream. Eventually. Also, I forgot to look at the poll. It was 72% of you work or study in a STEM field. So most of you. I figured as much. I figured as much. This is interesting though. This is useful data. A question, how to purify kerosene? Welcome in, Johnny Blessings. I don't know how to purify kerosene. I'm not that kind of scientist, unfortunately. I don't know. Just ask a chemist. I'm not gonna lie, I failed organic chemistry, so I genuinely can't help you with this. Like, I got a U in my, like, a U as in ungradable in my organic chemistry exam, the last one I ever sat, so I can't help. Psych is debatably a STEM field. No, I think it depends on the methods you're using. I think, like, I agree with them when they say it depends on the methods that you're using, because some of it is definitely, like, you have to be really aware. Like, it honestly, a large chunk of psychology now is not really any different from A/B testing. Like, it is basically just A/B testing under more controlled conditions, and also sometimes in person rather than just on a website. And, like, when you say it like that, suddenly people are like, oh yeah, I guess that is STEM. Because it is. Like, you're systematically manipulating things to see how people, manipulating sounds bad. You're systematically changing things to see how people respond to it. So that is still an experiment. That's still STEM. But yeah, when you're looking at like qualitative research, arguably that's more comparable to humanities, but it's still really important because that's how you generate ideas to then test in an experimental manner. But yeah. I'm not in a field of any kind. That's still valid. That's valid. The answer to that would be no on the poll though. Because it's like, if you're not in any field, then you're not in STEM. Psychology is enough of a science field for me to know that it's considered an expert testimony field and the judge gets to hear a whole science talk. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I think it counts. I think it counts. Didn't expect you to be American. I'm not. I am British. I am as British as they come, unfortunately. But I know about like the US visa requirements because I've had to help some people look into it. So yeah, but I don't know what the UK government says about it. I know, well, actually, no, I do know what the UK government says about it. If you've got a certain type of psychology degree, then it is a Bachelor of Science. So it is considered a STEM degree. That being said, like, I guess it kind of it depends on what you're doing, right? It depends on what you need the information for. Because like some things like if you're looking at people that actually work in a lab or they're doing like hard maths or some kind of like, yeah, like calculations and stuff, in that case, then you'd definitely be wanting to look at a different group than just people that are doing psychological methods. Because like psychology is so varied because people are complicated, so you need so many ways to assess them. And so many ways to collect data. Yeah. Hi, Scientific Cryptid. Welcome in. How you doing? Thank you for the follow. Ew, organic chemistry. I agree. Strong agree. I really did not like it. I did so badly in organic chemistry. It just it didn't click with me whatsoever. Yeah. I did pretty well in human biology. But then actually I did okay in biology overall, but psychology was definitely the one where I did best. Physics I was pretty good at. Thank you. Yes, I agree. Physics. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, physics I was pretty good at, but I had a weird situation, so I didn't keep going with it. Which is kind of a shame. I probably would have been pretty good at it if they'd let me. Hi, Ento! Hello! Welcome in! Welcome in! Hi, Raiders! Wait, let me give you a shout out. There you go. Hello, Raiders. I'm Psydere. I'm a psychologist. That's my job in real life. I'm a research psychologist and meta scientist. So I do research about science, which is kind of funny and cool. But yeah, welcome in. Everybody, if you don't already follow Ento, absolutely go and give them a follow because they make very cool educational content about entomology. So like insects, bugs, crawly things. Very, very cool. I think, were you doing co-working today? I think I saw that, right? If you're around, let me know. But yeah, go check out Ento. They make very nice content and they're also a lovely person. So 10 out of 10, highly recommend. Why is everybody just agreeing that like, I don't know, that there's just nothing but disgust for organic chemistry? That's quite funny. You have it studying for your finals, but have to raid and run? Absolutely, please do. Please do raid and run. Go and get a drink. It's quite late where you are, isn't it? So go, absolutely go drink, sleep, raid and run, disappear, go. And thank you for bringing people over. I will look after your caterpillars for you as to the best of my ability. Sadly, she is diagnosed as British. It's often hereditary. It's so true. So true. It's so true. It's also terminal. Yeah. Have you spoken to your family and friends about British? Oh dear. Something Steam. I'm not conflicted about that one. Like I think that art and science has a lot of overlap in some ways, but they like art is more. So there are definitely like systematic rules underpinning art. This is the thing, okay? So like anatomy has rules. Color theory has rules. Like if you're designing a character, the things that you want to consider, like, you know, color and silhouettes and stuff like that, those have rules, okay? But you also need to have a degree of just kind of like knowing it's going to work. Whereas like, I feel like with science, we always like, I don't know actually, because both art and science involve a lot of experimenting to see what works as well, actually saying that. Maybe they are quite similar. I'm just thinking out loud. Rules are also meant to be broken, like science. That's very true. That's very true. Sometimes they just work better when you break the rules. Interesting. Interesting. I think the STEM portion and Stochastic's response to you a while ago when you asked about the neurodivergent population work that watches you might have a correlation. Psydere's audience be like, are you neurodivergent or are you in STEM? Yes. People at my school used to call STEM students gardeners. Why? That's an interesting name. Why? Nep would love that. Nep would love that. Let me tell you a nightmare story. I did organic chem during the COVID year. Oh no. Oh no. That's terrifying. I don't like that. I do not like that whatsoever. I'm so sorry. It was bad enough at being like around people. Why are some people scared of spiders? Is it a cautionary evolution thing? I don't actually know. I don't know. I've heard that for some people it might be like a misplaced, rather than a fear response, it might be a misplaced disgust response. But then like even I've had this thing, like I'm not really scared of spiders, but like if I see something that's spider shaped on the wall, I jump. Like when I'm not expecting it. If there's like a tangle of fluff that looks like a spider and I'm not expecting it and I see it, then I jump. So who knows? Maybe it's pattern recognition. Maybe I've heard some people say it might be like disgust that gets misinterpreted as fear. I've heard some people say that it might be like socially conditioned, like you learn it. Like you see other people modeling fear towards spiders and then you become like, you're like, oh, like, you know, unconsciously you're like, okay, so I should be scared of the spiders. And then you also become scared of the spiders. There may also be an evolutionary element to it, but then that wouldn't really make sense in environments where spiders don't tend to be dangerous. So like, for example, like if it was evolutionary, then you would expect in regions that have dangerous, like you'd expect the same response across regions, regardless of whether spiders are dangerous or not. But also you might expect that there would be some degree of like adaptation up or down in terms of the response. Who knows? I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. I'm just thinking about loud about what the science might be. I don't know. Small spiders is fine. Big spiders are no chance. Yeah, it's interesting actually you say that. For me, it's not about whether they're big or small. I'm fine with them regardless of whether they're big or small. Like, they don't scare me. But it's more like if they move, you know? It's like if they move. Because if they are just sat there vibing, I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. I don't care. You do you, sis. But like the second that they start moving, I'm like, I can no longer trust you. You are now threatening and you need to leave. Does that make sense? Like a threatening spider is a moving spider to me. Yeah, they've got very skittish movements. You're right. And it freaks me out. But it's not even like a fear. It's more just like, I don't trust you. I've spoke about this on stream before. So like mute for the next like 2 minutes if you've got a fear of spiders, because this will mess you up. This is your 3-second warning. 3, 2, 1. If you're not muted by now, this is your own fault. I woke up a few times when I was a kid with like spiders on me. So like there was this one time where I woke up with a massive spider on my face. And there was another time where it was one on my leg and it freaked me out. So yeah. Hi! Hello Raiders, welcome in. Hi Marie Edmonds. Welcome in and welcome in everyone from your community. Hello, how you all doing? How you all doing? Goodness gracious, though. Hello, hi. I'm Psydere. I am a research psychologist in real life, and then I do a magical girl transformation, and then I fight misinformation on the internet. So I guess that's what I'm trying to do. But welcome in. Hi, Marie. How are you doing? You doing all right? I'm really glad to hear it. I'm good, thank you. I'm good. I'm very good, thank you. What were you up to? What were you up to today? I'm a computational linguist, so we rated you. That's so cool. Oh my gosh. You're a computational linguist? That is amazing. That is so cool. What the heck? I would love to hear more about that. But if you need to, take a break, get away from the PC, stand up, walk, stretch, go get some drink, something like that, absolutely do. But I would love to hear more about like your computational linguistic stuff if you would like to share it, because that sounds so cool. We were co-working and drawing. That's so nice. I love that. Were you drawing anything like specific, or was it just kind of like a shared thing? What were you working on? Marie was getting attacked by her mug. What? What? How does that happen? How does that happen? Oh, emote prizes. Amazing. That's so cool. I love that. I love that. It's informed consent. Yeah, it's so if you follow, which by the way, welcome in Mega Sloth and Marie, thank you for the follows. But if you follow, then you're signing the informed consent form. So that means you're part of my research participation pool now. You can't withdraw. Well, you can, but I'm not telling you how. So sorry, it's a secret for now. But I'll give you an informed consent form again once you take part in a research study. I'm just saying, Okay, and who joined you? Let's see. It's Alos and KataVT and Freya Chariot and of course Mega Sloth. Hello, and Cabe Don Don. That's everybody. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Okay, wait. We were talking about spiders. Sorry, I have actually finished talking about the spiders now, so we're not going to be talking about spiders anymore. Because we were saying how someone asked. Johnny asked why are some people scared of spiders, and my TLDR was I don't know, because I don't specialize in like phobias and stuff. I'm a social psychologist, so my research is more about like how people think about themselves and the groups that they're part of and how that affects their behavior and stuff like that. But we were thinking it might be, there's a potential it could be evolutionary, but it's possibly also socially learned. So you see other people modeling a fear of spiders and then you do the same thing, basically. Yeah. Spiders done for muted, yes. Oh dear. I used code to analyze language to answer the questions earlier. Ooh, that's interesting. I mixed computational and socio-linguistics into my work. NLP is part of it. That sounds so interesting. So it's so almost like that sounds like it's almost like half quantitative and half qualitative. And is it about like, you don't have to answer this because like obviously, research areas can be a bit too identifying, but like would you be more looking at like the contents or the patterns? Because I've done a bit of like contents stuff. I've done like some thematic analysis and content analysis and stuff like that in the past, but I always feel like I don't know what I'm doing. But then everyone has told me that that's just a feature of the methodology. You always feel like you don't know what you're doing. A bit of both. Ooh, nice. Yeah, interdisciplinary. We love that. Just listen to a Stuff You Should Know podcast about gullibility. It was really interesting. It sounds like it might be related to your research. That does sound really interesting. Yeah. Gullibility probably would be. Yeah. I work a lot with the psychology department in my uni too. Nice. Let's go. Let's go. Psychology mentioned. Oh dear. Yeah, so my research, I'm just yapping now. I apologize. I'm going to yap about my research for a second. So my research is about like how people think about science, basically. So it's like the social psychology of science. So I partially focus on like why people believe misinformation and conspiracy theories and stuff like that. But I also partially focus on like how scientists think about their work and then how people think about science generally and scientists specifically, if that makes sense. So that's what I do. That's what I do. It's like weirdly specific, but that's, you know, that's how it is. That's how it is. How much does meta science and philosophy of science have in common, do you think? They're like, so they overlap is significant. Like, it's a lot of the same thing, to be honest. Like, philosophy of science very much informs meta science, because sometimes meta scientists will actually look at how philosophy of science is being applied or not being applied. So that's also quite interesting. Also, hi, Zakia. Hello. Welcome in. Thank you for the raid. How are you doing? Let's give Zakia a shout out. Thank you, Zakia. How are you doing? What were you playing? What were you playing? What were you up to? Hi. Did they teach you Wittgenstein? I recognize the name. Let me check. I honestly, I'm not very good at like philosophy names. I always forget the names because I'm just not very good at names, to be fair. But is it this one? Ludwig Wittgenstein. Is it Wittgenstein or Wittgenstein? Stein. Okay, it says Stein on Wikipedia. An Austrian philosopher who worked primarily in logic, the philosophy of mathematics, philosophy of mind, and the philosophy of language. I recognize the name, but I can't remember. I probably studied this at undergrad. I have no idea. Playing Black Ops 3 Zombies with fellow VSync gen mate Raina. Nice! Oh my gosh, I played too much zombies when I was younger. Oh, you were asking Marie, my bad. My bad, sorry. Yeah, no, I played too much zombies when I was younger, actually. So, yes. I feel that. Is Black Ops Zombies actually good? Like, is it good? Because I haven't played it since probably like the first Black Ops, actually. I don't know. I don't pay attention to these things anymore. I don't pay attention. I'm like so horribly out of the loop in terms of like games generally that I just don't know anymore. Science, there's zombies collab when? Actually, that would be fun. That would actually be fun and I would enjoy it. So I'm interested.
Lankuri knows you and I know Lankuri, so plus 10.
Thank you so much for the 10 bits. Oh my gosh. I'm not gonna lie, your name's kind of hard to say. Bits, it's Alice. There we go. That's a hard combination. Thank you so much for the 10 bits. Lankuri knows you and I know Lankuri. You know what? I love that. I love that. Networking. Is this networking? Are we networking right now? Are we at a conference? Is this how conferences work? Halos without the ah. Okay. Oh, okay. I'll drop the its then. It was the its that was throwing me. Bits its. That was throwing me. I struggle. And also, Angie, thank you for the follow. Sorry, I didn't spot you there. But thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. You're now part of the participant pool. The conference is following me. I actually got followed by my like VTubing account. On my VTubing account even. I got followed by like a professional society that I have interacted with also as a grad student, and I was very stressed. I was like, oh no, my colleagues are finding me. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm gonna present soon. This is gonna be what's happened. Conference debut when? Oh no. It's actually really funny that you're also part of a VTuber research group. We're not a research group necessarily, although funny you say that. We have been low-key talking about like, could we do research on stuff together? Yeah, no, we're a VTuber group that all of us do science content. So there's me, I do like mostly meta science, I say, but it's really just psychology about science specifically. There's Mylin Ackerman, who does psychology and statistics. Mostly, a lot of their content's around like the psychology of fandom stuff, so that's quite fun. And then there is Fire the Neutrophil, who is a cell and molecular biologist and does some really cool streams and videos about cell and molecular biology. There is Syzygy, who does physics and engineering and sometimes coding. And there is Nep, who does horticulture and botany and entomology. And all of them are very, very cool. Nep's the only one that's on Twitch. I'm trying to spell Nep's name. There we go. That's Nep. Nep does horticulture. Yes. So yeah. VTuber partners with Jupiter Dream, who's an astrophysicist. We've actually met Syzygy before. Z gets around. Everybody seems to know Z. I don't know how she does it. She is like, she is on the ball in terms of reaching out to people. I'm so impressed by her. I need to learn from her because I get too scared to message people. Ouch, I meant to do that. That's true. Z travels at sea. That is very true. Z does travel at sea. That's very true. She's too powerful. She's too fast. You can barely even perceive her. She followed me on Twitter a really long time ago, and then she popped into Jupiter's stream recently. I have a feeling I might be mutuals with Jupiter actually on Twitter. I think we might be mutuals. Yeah, we are. I knew it. I knew I recognized that name. We are. I thought so. I didn't know that you had a group as well. That's so nice. I love that. Or were you just doing a regular collab? Wait, I might be mixing wires. That's very cool though. I love that. It'd be terrifying if people at work found my secret identity. Honestly, like, so I'm in a weird place with it, right? Because technically, this is my alter ego, technically. But technically I can use Psydere for continuous professional development if I do, or like as proof of my science communication and public outreach, if I do enough science content. So like this month I've mostly just been yapping and co-working, so it wouldn't count. But like the second that I read a paper on stream and talk about it, or the second that I present a finding or something like that, I can use that as evidence of science outreach. So that's part of my job. So yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, this counts as part of my stuff that I should do to develop my research competencies. So I may or may not now be putting it on as a portfolio. Wait, you're not a witch scientist IRL? I'm just a regular scientist IRL, unfortunately. If I could do the magic, that would make my life a lot easier, because like canonically, the Psydere power is the power to manipulate human perception. So imagine how many grants I could get if that worked. A day is ruined. I'm so sorry. Have you only just realizing? I'm so sorry. My immersion. No. Look, all I'm saying is, right? All I'm saying is, I'm a magical girl. Magical girls have to go back to their regular life once they're done fighting the monsters, right? It's not immersion breaking. I'm just transforming back into my non-magical girl self and then going off and doing my job. So, hi, Bob the Buildist. What a great name. That's very funny. Welcome in. Welcome in. With art and science, one of the geneticists took the mathematical patterns in genetic code and translated it into scales and made them into music. I love that so much. It was ethereal. I can imagine. That must have been a real experience. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I would love to hear that. That reminds me of like when they took the sound of, what was it? It was the sound of, it wasn't the sound of like the cosmic background radiation, was it? Or was it the black hole? It might have been the black holes merging. Yeah, it might have been the resonance. And when they turned that into a sound and then they made music out of it, it reminds me of that. Yay, friends. Friends are being made. Friends are being made. Why is there no happiness pill yet? Because happiness is a complex, multifaceted construct. There are too many degrees of freedom for a single pill to address it. Oh no, not the degrees of freedom. There's too many. There's too many. The economy can't function with this many degrees of freedom. It's terrible. Terrible. We have a happiness pill. It's called a kitty cat. That's true, actually. That's very true. You know what, actually? Maybe the answer is actually just everybody watches cat videos. Maybe we should have this as a new mindfulness redeem when my cards run out. Maybe we should do that. Toxoplasmosis much? Toxo's approaching threateningly. I'm scared. Do you know folk psychology? Is that like indigenous psychology? I don't know what that is. Or is that just like general lay constructs of psychological concepts? Is that the one that it is? No? It's not indigenous psychology. Yes, okay, it's the lay constructs. Yes, I do know that. I have read a book. In fact, I assigned readings to my students about this. What was it? 50 Great Myths of Popular Psychology, something like that, by Scott Lilienfeld and some other people. I assigned that as reading to my students because a lot of them go into psychology and they're like, I want to be a criminal profiler, or I want to, I'm interested in psychology because I can't even remember what's in the book. This is so bad. Let me find the book. Let me find the book's contents page, because there's like 3 things in there that always really stand out to me as being related. 50 Great Myths of Popular Psychology, this one. And then I'm gonna go, where am I going? Don't take away my personal profilers. I need them for testimony. Oh, Bushy, I'm so sorry to tell you this. It's largely nonsense. It's mostly just educated guessing. Like it's really not empirically based. At least that's my understanding of it. Yeah, so stuff like some people are left-brained and other people are right-brained, or that subliminal messages can persuade people to purchase things, or people experience a midlife crisis in their 40s and 50s. Stuff like that. I hear that from students. But there's one specifically. Let's see, where is it? Is it this one? Oh yeah, polygraph tests. Don't even get me started on polygraph tests. They upset me. Which one was it? This is like a whole list. A whole list of stuff. Yeah, I've had quite a few students tell me that they're interested in psychology as well, because they're like really interested in like ink blots and like that kind of thing. And I have to politely explain to them, like, that's not really what we do anymore. Like, that's, if you want to do that, then you're about 50 to 100 years out of date. Yeah. So I have to deal with some, yeah. So I just give them the book. And they're like, okay, I will read the book. And then they come back and they're like, everything that I've ever been told about psychology was a lie and I don't like it. And I'm like, yeah, same. I'm smooth-brained. You know what, actually? That isn't... Okay, first of all, you're not. Second of all, that is actually a thing. There is actually a condition which makes your brain smooth. That is not a lie. That is a thing. Although most of the pictures you'll see online are of like a chicken instead of a actual smooth brain. And thank you, Woodsticks, for the follow. Welcome in. You are now part of the participant pool. Welcome. You might have to take part in research now. I've had to lecture police that cannabis and hemp are the same thing. And in fact, they can't visually tell. Yeah. It's amazing how many people like get fairly significantly through and still rely on folk wisdom, quote unquote, rather than what the actual evidence is. It's quite stressful. Hello, nice to be a subject. Excellent. We've got an enthusiastic participant. Let's go. You're very welcome here, Woodsticks. Normally, people are like, no, I don't want to take part in your research. Okay, you're going to have to fill out a 52-page survey now. Thank you. And thank you for the follow, Bob the Builders. You're also part of the participant pool now. Welcome in. Uninformed consent, so true. What exactly did I consent to? I don't know yet. I haven't decided. You'll find out. You'll find out eventually. I've got a blanket ethics approval. Oh dear. We love enthusiastic participants. Exactly. Bigger participant pool. Let's go. We love it. Let's go. She doesn't make you shave your head for the electrodes anymore. That's true, actually. You did used to have to shave your head when you were putting EEG electrodes on, but you don't have to anymore. The technology has evolved, and now we have this like superconductive gel that you put on your scalp. And it does unfortunately mean that you need to wash your hair before and after the experiment. And even when you wash it after the experiment, it doesn't really come out, and you need to wash it a few times again when you get home. But it's an improvement, you know? It doesn't need to be involving shaving anymore, so that's good. Increase the sample size? Yes. Generalizability concerns? Never heard of her. Not in this house. Not in this house. I don't mind being a point of data. Good. Excellent. Excellent. Totally informed. It's just written in a totally not hidden link somewhere around the channel. Exactly. Exactly. That's how we do it in this house. That's how we do it in this house. We'll be enthusiastic until I have a reason not to be. I like that attitude. That's a good attitude to take. The gel's a pain to get out. Oh, you know. The gel, like, I swear, they've made it, like, the worst consistency. So, like, no matter how many times you wash your hair, over and over and over again, it just will not go away. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. And I just refuse to take part in them now because I'm like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm sorry. I need to preserve my dignity. Like, I'm not doing it. Like, especially if you've got long hair, because like sometimes it can get tangled around the electrodes as well. And like the gel just doesn't help. The gel does not help whatsoever. Can't imagine how much you'd have to pay participants to convince them to shave their head. I'm sure it's possible. That in itself would be an interesting study. Like, how much do I have to pay you in order to convince you to do something like that? That would be an interesting study. Some people already plan on shaving. That's true, but if you only accept people who plan on shaving their head into the sample, then you're going to have a really biased sample because for a start, it would probably be like 98% male. So, you know, that in itself is kind of problematic. Unless you're specifically studying that, I guess. That'd be fine. I don't know. I don't know. I'd shave my head. I'd do it for free. You don't even need to pay me to participate in this research. I'll just do it. It's just fun. I just want to do it. Oh dear. They were doing memory research and neurodivergent versus typical, and they paid us in Chick-fil-A meals. Oh my gosh. That's something. I think the worst payment I've ever had, well, aside from like when I was doing my undergrad, I just got course credits, which was a bit rubbish. But aside from that, I think the worst thing that I've ever had was like I got a voucher for an ice cream place, and then I did a quick Google while I was sat there, and then I was like, wait, this place doesn't have anything I can actually eat because I've got a cow's milk allergy. So they only had like cow's milk ice cream. So I went back to the experimenter and I was like, excuse me, I actually can't use this because I have an allergy. And they were like, oh, I didn't think of that. And I was like, yeah. And then they were like, I don't have anything. I'm sorry. I don't have anything. I don't even have any stationery or anything I can give you. And I was like, fine. I just gave them the coupon back. Because I know the struggles of being a grad student and trying to get people to take part in your research. God, I know it so well. Oh. But yeah, and so I didn't get anything. And I was very disappointed. It was so sad. I minored in psychology, but I was just being reminded of the clowns being correlated with better pregnancy outcome study. I forgot about that one. I forgot about that one. What was the one that my lecturers were obsessed with the fMRI one, the fish in the MRI. If you know that one, the fish in the MRI scanner. And to be fair, that is a pretty good study. I'm being held hostage in aerospace. I want to go to philosophy. Why not do both? Why not do both? Use some of your engineering time to do some philosophy. This counts as developing your skill set. Next journal club, legit, that's actually a good idea. That's a good idea. I need to check the what's the thingy on it? Oh, closed access. Boo! Boo! Closed access. How could you? How could you? Who is the publisher? American Society for Reproductive Medicine. How could you do this? How could you do this? Absolutely disgusting. My disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined. My scholarships won't let me. Oh no, that's really sad actually. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I hope you get to do your philosophy. My free time is philosophy. Yeah. Yeah, do as much as you can in your free time. I need to read more philosophy, to be honest, because even my philosophy of science is really shaky. There's like 2 really core texts that I know I need to read. One of them's Karl Popper. I can't believe I've never read Karl Popper. Actually, there's 3, sorry. There's 3. So there's one by Karl Popper that I need to read, which is horribly overdue. There's one by Meal. Meal. Paul Meal that I need to read. And then there's also one on what is it? Is it Kuhn? The Nature of Scientific Revolution, something like that. The Structure of Scientific Come on, we can do this. We can do this. The Structure of Scientific Revolutions by Thomas Kuhn. That's the one that I need to read. Yeah. So those are on my reading lists urgently because they're all like pretty cool texts in philosophy of science and I haven't read them yet, so that's not ideal. Not ideal. Not ideal. It sucks because I'll meet a philosophy professor and my self-study doesn't put me on the level to discuss it with them. Yeah, I know that feeling. Because my studies have been like exclusively in psychology. So I always feel out of the loop whenever I'm not talking about anything in my immediate area. But you'll build the skills and the confidence. You will get there. Okay, there's about to be an ad. So I'm going to run away for 3 minutes while the ad is playing. And then I'll come back. I hope that sounds good. Okay, I will see you in a few minutes. See you in a bit. Hello, I'm back. What? I'm confused. I just heated up my tea. I forgot about my tea again. I forgot about my tea again. Thank you for the hydrate and posture check, Night Mind. And also, thank you for the journal club suggestion, Yavko. TED Talk, the most important lesson from 83,000 brain scans. Okay, that sounds pretty interesting, actually. That could be a potential, like... I need to check the copyright policy on TED Talks, but we might be able to do, like, a watch along of that. That'd be fun. That'd be fun. You need one of those cup warmers. I do need one of those. You know what? I always forget. That reminds me. I think it was yesterday, not yesterday, the other day. I think it was Nightmind was like, you should put one of those. You should get Husbando to get you one of those. And then I was like, thinking in my mind, oh, I could put it on Throne. And then I remembered that I always forget to even like mention that I have one. to the point where I think lots of people don't think I have one, which is quite funny. Yeah, I do actually have one. I just don't advertise it because I feel weird getting gifts. I'm too British for that. I'm like, why are you doing that? Stop it. Stop it. But I'm always appreciative, you know? Ah, yes, thank you. Put one on Throne. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You did get a cube from it. Yeah, so far there's been exactly one gift, and it has been Lankuri's tungsten cube gift to Husbando mod. The tungsten cube, which I never saw again, by the way. Husbando is hoarding it. I've not seen the tungsten cube. I am tungsten cubeless myself, personally. But yeah, I think I've got a few things in the suggestion. Yeah, I have suggestions on there. I should probably go through that at some point. Suggested 5 months ago. Brilliant. That shows how on top of things I am. Okay. Okay. Yeah, if we can find one, put it in the suggestions and I'll try to remember to add it. We need to get tungsten powder for you guys so you can make crafts. That's true, actually. I would put tungsten in everything if I could. Lankuri's the achievement hunter. That's very true. That's very, very true. Lankuri's too powerful. How many things have you got first on Lankuri? It's like at least 3. Where was I? I'm like, I have 2 chats open. One of them is like up to date and one of them is far behind so that I can actually answer people's questions if there were any. So that's the thing. I've been considering starting streaming, and if I did, I would be a VTuber. You should. I would watch that. I would watch that. We love that. Do it. Yes, peer pressure. Update, the cube is not on my desk or anywhere in my vicinity. Where is the cube? Where is the cube? Tungsten cube. Where are you? This is not good. We need to find it. We need to find it. This is not ideal. It escaped containment, exactly. I'm scared and I'm threatened. I'm not scared of spiders, but I'm scared of the tungsten cube. It's got a mind of its own. I don't know what to expect. Even yesterday at the medical appointments, there was the evaluator was like, you should do it. It's a sign. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's a sign to just keep living in a way that's achievement hunting, clearly. I want to drink some tea. You should drink some tea. That sounds like a good idea. I've got tea. I'll drink some tea in your behalf. Expect great things from the tungsten. I'm scared. I'm honestly scared. I'm feeling threatened. I can feel its gravitational pull, and I'm not sure why. It's approaching me. No! Wolfram, where the W comes from, would be the name of a werewolf. Wolfram? The Wolfram? We raided. Was it Stephen Wolfram that we raided that one time? I think it was. The Wolfram we raided, who was live on Twitch. And then he ended the stream literally like 3 minutes later, and it was very disappointing. I was like, I've come here to learn about your theory of everything, and instead I'm getting 3 minutes of content and then the stream ends. I was so sad. It was very anticlimactic. It felt weird because I didn't think he was a real person. I know, right? I know. How do we know that it was the real Stephen Wolfram? It could have been an AI, you know? The same way that I'm a Rin Penrose AI. What if it was Stephen Wolfram's an AI? Who knows? Who knows? I'm scared. Change is a sign of the existence of God. Monoids cannot change over time except by transcendental means, of which must mean God, of course. True. I guess? I don't know. Is this what's a monoid? Is this related to Stephen Wolfram or is this related to tungsten? I don't know anymore. I'm so confused. So true, bestie. Exactly. That's what I was thinking. Oh, monad. That still doesn't answer my question. I don't know what that is. Is this a Leibniz reference? A monoid is a doctor who is a villain from the 60s. What? That's an obscure cultural reference. He didn't have anyone confirming in his chat that he was real by saying Stephen Wolfram real. This is true, actually. This is very true. How do we know that he was real without somebody stating it? I need signals from other people. I'm an inherently social creature. If there are no signals from my immediate sphere of social influence, then I don't know how to cope. That's how it works. Oh dear. Let's see. Did you know that in most child prodigies, being defined here is reaching a professional level of expertise below expertise at the late age of 10 or below the age of 10 have a really high working memory as the main common factor. Oh, that's interesting. I can see that. I can see that making sense. Yeah. Yeah, because working memory is really important for a whole bunch of stuff. Mine's really bad, relatedly. I don't know what that says about me. Oh no. Oh no. It's terrible. It's terrible. A monad in X is just a monoid in the category of what? What? Is this maths? Is this maths? Are you getting me with the maths? I'm not sure if I like that. I'm very stressed out about this. I'm very stressed out. Oh dear. Mine is really high despite the ADHD debuff. That's valid. Okay. Okay. Mine's also... No, mine's very variable. Mine's quite bad. Sorry, I got distracted. I got distracted because something was moving in my environment and I got distracted. Oh dear. Tungsten, meaning heavy rock, was the name given to the tungsten ore before the element tungsten was discovered. The Swedish/German scientist that discovered the element that gave it the name Wolfram, which is why it's W. Oh, okay, this makes sense now. That makes sense now. Okay, I always wondered why it was the W cube. W. The most W of cubes. Okay, should we do our mindfulness now? This is horribly delayed. Let's do our mindfulness. We calm down now. We calm down. We calm. I just realized. Wait. Go like this. And I go like this. I lean. Oh my gosh. Wait. What does this say about me? I'm doing the VTuber wiggle. Exactly. This one. And then this one. Stephen Tungsten. So true. We should rename him that. Did you know the art prodigies displayed a surprising deficit in visual spatial skills in a certain study where a sample size was like 40? I mean, that's one of the few studies where it makes sense to have a small sample size, right? Because there's just not many of them. There's just not many of them, full stop. Yeah. Although actually, because the reason why you need a big sample size is so that you can get it representative of the population. But if the population's really, really small, then a sample of 40 is actually a really big sample. So I wonder if you can actually, that would probably generalize out. They begin the abstract by mentioning how difficult it was to get a sample size. Yeah, I can imagine. Imagine trying to find like an entire massive sample of people who were like actual prodigies. I wouldn't even know where to start. That would be such a difficult population to recruit. Let me tell you, recruiting scientists is hard enough. I have to research. Yeah, I have to recruit scientists for my research, and they just don't want to be involved. They're like, nope, not interested. Sorry, I'm too busy. I don't want to take part. And then I'm like, but I need you to. And then they're like, nope, not doing it. And I'm like, oh, okay. My apologies. And then I get a sample size of like 200 if I'm lucky. It's very sad. In my field, our sample sizes have to be at least 10,000. That's wild. See, that's actually a good sample though. That's how it should be. Our samples are just really small because it's really hard to get people to take part in psychology research. Like, they just don't want to. It's really sad. It's really, really sad. It was like we had a GWAS study on twins where one was on the spectrum and one wasn't. It was rough for them to get a population of greater than 20 people. Yeah, I can imagine. Like, how does that even work though? Because what I've read is that the hereditary am I using this word correctly? Like the hereditary estimate. Like the estimate for how much is probably genetics and how much is probably environment, that. From what I've read, it looks as though it's very heavily genetic. But I might be wrong. I've not looked into this in quite a while because I was just kind of like weirded out by the whole field, and there's a lot of very those papers tend to use quite weird language. Yeah. So I don't like reading them. So yeah, I can imagine finding twins would be really difficult. I like that the scientist gave the element a proper name and English was like, no, let's call it heavy rock. It's true. It's true. That's a very scientist thing to do though. It's like those people that called something Sonic the Hedgehog, like the protein or whatever. Like, I kind of get that. I would do the same. I'm friends with a child prodigy, PhD at 20, and to be honest, it just feels like he studied in his free time rather than playing video games and stuff like that. Man was on Coursera at 10 years old. I can't even imagine. What was I doing when I was 10? I think I was playing Club Penguin and making Club Penguin websites. My first ever website that I built was a Club Penguin website. What does it say about me? I need to know. They don't particularly want to be in my study. It's just that their data is public and can become mine without the IRB caring. See, that's the big brain move. We are still fairly lacking in large data sets. That's the thing. We're still fairly lacking in it. We're trying to get better, but it's something that's only just really taking off in psychology. Yeah. We need to get better at the actually large sample sizes. That is definitely a point for improvement in general. We are working on it. There's a lot of like big team science, like large scale team science studies starting to happen where like they do the same study in multiple labs at multiple institutions. But it's easier with surveys because you can just do like a panel, like an opinion polling panel. But if you're doing an actual experiment, you need to actually get people into the lab, obviously, and it's a pain. Nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to spend an hour of their time sat there moving chairs or whatever. So Yeah. I don't know if I should sleep today. You should. You should sleep today. You should sleep every day. That's kind of a requirement for existing. They were trying to figure out genetics versus environment. I see. I see. But then, okay. I can understand the thinking, but surely if they're exclusively recruiting twins, I'm assuming like identical twins, where one is autistic and one isn't, then surely there's a bit of an error there, because if like 90% of all of the twins are either both autistic or both not autistic, and like 10% of them are one and the other, surely that in itself means that they are a subpopulation that might not be representative of the overall picture of things. I might be wrong. I don't know anything about genetics, but that's what I'd think from a psychology perspective. Neopets 1,000. Me at 10. So true. So true. I was never a Neopets person though, actually. I was very much a like Pokemon and Club Penguin person. That was me. Yeah. Like Neopets was fine, but I never really got into it. Club Penguin is fine for 10-year-olds. Yeah. Age appropriate activity. Assuming it's got like locked chat. I got a really nice big data set from the psychology department the other day. Nice. We love that. We love that. It was called Wolfset as an insult to the shoddy tin ore it appeared in. That makes me angry. They dare insult the sacred tungsten. Those fools. I agree. How dare they? My beloved tungsten. For the genome-wide association study, they needed a control to screen for SNP patterns that could be related. What is SNP pattern? What does that mean? I was just Pokemon. That's fair. A lot of people were just Pokemon. I was like, I went all in. I was Pokemon and Sonic the Hedgehog and Club Penguin and Animal Crossing. And I still didn't get diagnosed as being autistic until I was an adult. So, yeah. Even though I was literally playing the bingo. So there you go. Terrible. Single nucleotide poly, looking for mutation patterns to track genes. That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. You know, you've been working on the word count for too long when you forget that you need to remove 60 words from your 2,410 words memo to get to 2350, not 100 words. That's fair. That's fair. And Animal Crossing and Harvest Moon, yes. I was obsessed with Animal Crossing, like the one on the DS. Genuinely, I dread to think how many hours I had in it. It was probably like 1,000. I had a problem. What was it? New Leaf, I think it was. I had the one on the GameCube as well, but then I played that one all the way through. But then when New Leaf came out, something about it just like triggered a special interest, and I was obsessed with it. I played so many hours. It was really something. Really, really something. I never actually played Harvest Moon, but I know there's a very cute cow, so I appreciate that. Apparently they dropped a Hello Kitty Animal Crossing game. I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. And loads of people are really, like, they really, really want it. And I'm like, I'm very interested in this. What was it called? It's not an Animal Crossing game though, is it? It's Hello Kitty Island Adventure, is that the one? Island Adventure? Is this the one? Available on Switch. Yeah, it's this one. Hello Kitty Island Adventure, and it's basically just, it looks like Animal Crossing. Yeah. Befriend iconic characters. I love that. I fear playing this because I think I would become obsessed with it. It looks very, very cute. I haven't actually logged into Animal Crossing in a really long time though. Like the one on the Switch, I haven't logged into it. Which is a shame. My department has a saying that goes something like, how can you pursue a PhD without being somewhere on the spectrum? Honestly, like, it is kind of like that. Because, like, how else are you meant to be... Like, okay. This might be weird, but bear with me, right? When I talk to neurotypical people, and they're not just, like, inherently interested in something, and they don't want to just collect all of the information about a thing and understand something as in-depth as possible, I don't understand it. Because for me, it's like an inherent drive. Like, the thing that's pushed me through my PhD is wanting to understand why people believe conspiracy theories, right? It makes me very, very excited. And, like, as I'm piecing things together, it's satisfying. And then new information comes, and, like, there's new studies and stuff like that, and I do my own research, and it gets more interesting. Like, the more I can learn, the more interesting it gets, if that makes sense. So, yeah. I can't imagine living a life where I'm not excited about stuff like that. I don't know. It sounds very boring. All of my autistic friends have gut issues. What does it mean? That's something I've heard a lot too. There is a comorbidity with gut and neurodivergence. The team at Vanderbilt University has a bunch of papers on it. That's really interesting. As a neurotypical person, I also find this relatable. Talking about academic interest is like a shortcut out of small talk. Exactly. So why am I going to sit here and talk about the weather again or what you watched on TV the other day? That's boring. I want to hear about the thing that makes you excited and interesting. And, like, academics are super easy to talk to in that sense. I also find it really easy to talk to, like, people that have got, like, they're really, really interested in, like, well, I mean, like, quote unquote nerdy stuff, I guess, is the obvious one, right? People that are interested in, I don't know, like comics or games or whatever. Because, like, tell me about the lore. I want to hear more. Tell me about the lore. You know, don't do the whole like, oh, it's raining, isn't it? Yeah, of course it's raining. We live in Ireland. What are you expecting? Tell me about tell me about the fantasy novel. I wish to know more. I wish to know about the inner workings of your brain. Except I have depression, so at the same time, I'm just stuck in my room not doing anything. No, I'm sorry. Actually is really interesting, right? I want to know, I want to understand what's going on with this. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I can't relate. When people are like, what's your hobby? And they're like, nothing really. Like, how? How? Do you not have the feminine urge to pick up 72 million new projects and skills? Like, what the heck? I don't get it. So many lore videos have been put on in the background when I paint. Yes! That's so nice. I love that. Hey, did you know that in Star Wars, not every stormtrooper is a clone? I did. Wait, no, I think, yes. Wait, I did. Because I've watched 1 through to 7. I haven't watched 8 or 9 yet, but I've watched 1 through to 7. So I knew that some of the stormtroopers were not, because I've seen 7. I learn. I know things, I swear. That is one piece of media that I didn't miss, to be fair, so that's good. Although I say that, I haven't watched the other 2 because I never got around to it, and I haven't watched any of the spin-offs that have come out. Everyone keeps being like, watch the thing with Baby Yoda, and I'm like, maybe one day. Someone once said what's up, English, words. Someone once said it was shocking that when I usually just give short responses, that I went on a whole tangent about how there are so many Japanese sword styles that were all interrelated. See, that's interesting. That's the kind of thing I want to hear more about. Like, what gets you excited, you know? Also, thank you for the hydrate, Night Mind. I will drink my tea. To be fair, for a long time, I thought I didn't have any hobbies, but then I gave it some thought and yeah, no, I have hobbies. I just wasn't considering them hobbies. Exactly, right? So, like, for me, obviously, VTuber stuff, right? But, like, I could sit here and say, oh yeah, I'm a VTuber. That's a hobby. I'm a VTuber. But actually, even within that, there's multiple hobbies because, like, there's the streaming bit of it, but then there's also the video editing bit of it, and then there's also the graphic design bit of it, and then there's also the character design bit of it, and then there's also the etc. 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 So actually, I have quite a lot of hobbies. It's just that they're all kind of united under one project, if that makes sense. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's like the same for a lot of people. And then like reading and stuff like that, or like cooking, or like stuff that you enjoy, going out for walks, even stuff like that, that's still a hobby. You know, anything that you do for fun in your own free time or to like wind down, calm yourself, whatever, that's all hobbies. I don't want to go, but I have to. So have a great rest of your stream. Thank you for joining us, Marie, and thank you so much again for the raid. Thank you. And yeah, I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Thank you again. Thank you for dropping by. Can we have a 10k reward for great ginger into size T? I don't think we have any ginger. I don't actually think we have any. We can get some, I guess. I do like ginger tea. Like, yeah. Ginger tea tastes good. I agree. People talking about their passions have two-folded benefits. One, the content of the passion itself, and two, what it says about the person that has the passion. This is very true. This is very true, actually. And I guess also, like, you can kind of gauge like how their presentation differs too. So like if they get really, really animated when they're normally very, very quiet, like I always love it when that happens. Now I wonder how to ship all sorts of loose leaf tea. Well, I have a throne. Use the throne, I guess. Put suggestions on there for tea if you really feel strongly about it. Maybe we do have ginger tea somewhere, actually. We have, like, we don't have a massive selection, to be honest. We used to have a lot of loose leaf tea, and then we just kind of forgot to get it. And then now we just have regular tea bags. So we've got, like, black tea. We've got green tea. I've got, like, you know the type of green tea that's, like, got roasted rice in it? That one. I've got that one. And then we've got chamomile, and then we've got a bunch of random things that we've stolen from various hotels and conferences. So maybe there's a ginger amongst that. I don't know. I have no idea. Thank you for the follow, Perky Plays Games. Welcome in. Thank you. You are now part of the participant pool. You might have to take part in my research. Welcome in. There's sometimes this thing where people can get triggered by compliments because it makes them think, no, that's not true, and it reminds them of their insecurity. I don't know. I know, like, for me personally, I'm not talking in a professional psychologist capacity. I'm talking in a personal capacity. I'm talking in a personal capacity when I say this, but like, for me personally, I think it's a cultural thing. I was raised in a way where it's like people just don't really compliment each other. Like British identity is very much just complaining. So people don't really say nice things to each other unless they're making fun of each other. So yeah, like sometimes I get weird when people compliment me, but it's not because like it's an insecurity. It's just because I've never really been socialized on how to accept a compliment. I think I've got a bit better now that I'm working with like more international people who do actually regularly give out compliments and stuff, and they receive them and I can see. And I'm like, oh yes, people say thank you. That's very kind of you. I also appreciate this thing about you. And I'm like, okay, that's how you do it. Okay, noted. Noted. Genmai chai, yeah, that's the one. That's the one. I love that stuff. I could drink that forever. It's like one of my favorite teas. Or she'd be like, order 10 pounds of apothecary grade dried chamomile to size doorstep. Look, if you send me the tea, I'll drink it. Just please make sure that there's no animal products in it. That's my only requirement. I feel some sort of national shame for being English and not drinking tea. I think there's quite a lot of people now, though. There's a lot of people now that don't drink tea across the whole of the UK, to be honest. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I know that English people have the reputation for drinking tea, but people drink way more tea here in Ireland. Like, I swear, like, the whole thing about, like, oh, British people love their teas is nothing on the Irish. The Irish drink so much tea. Like, honestly, I see people having, like, 6 cups a day, and I'm like, that is powerful. Your kidneys are powerful. Goodness gracious. British compliment be like, wait. British compliment be like, oi, you going to the Queen's reception or what? Yeah, the Queen is dead. That's true. We no longer have a queen. We have a king now. That's actually true though. Genuinely, like people in England, well, in the south of England especially, it's like, actually no, I think the whole of England is like this, to be honest. I can't speak for Wales or Scotland. But yeah, people in England, they'll be like, oh, wow, nice skirt. Where did you get it? But it's like, it's never serious. It's like sarcastic. Whereas like when I moved to Ireland, suddenly people were like, oh, I really like your skirt. Where did you get it? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to respond because you're not sarcastic. Help. Help. They put in bone broth in tea. I hope not. But I wouldn't put it past it, you know? People put strange things in tea. I saw the bone broth hot chocolate and just shuddered. I hate that. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Hi, Doc Rex. How you doing? How you doing? Welcome in. How you doing today? Hopefully a bit better. Just looked it up and yeah, Turkey has the highest at 3.16 kg per capita. Ireland is 2.36 kg per capita, and UK is 1.82 kg per capita. I'm telling you, the Irish absolutely chug tea. Like, seriously, it's like all the time, constant here, constant. And my tea consumption has definitely gone up since I've been living here. To be honest, I think the tea's a bit nicer as well, but I still have a soft spot in my heart for Yorkshire. That's always going to be my favourite. Hypothetically, I could send a whole cake of 2005 aged pu'er tea. What is that? I mean, I like bitter. I'm like most British people put like milk and stuff in their black tea, but I put less. I do the builder's tea. I'm like, yeah, love, put in a bit less tea for me, thanks. No, a bit less tea. No, a bit less milk. Oh, that's so sad. So sad. Destroyed by my own lack of fluency. This is terrible. Pu'er is a variety of fermented tea traditionally available in Yunnan province, China. In the context of traditional tea production terminology, fermentation refers to... I know what fermentation is. It refers to microbial fermentation. And it's typically applied after the tea leaves have been sufficiently dried and rolled. It continues to oxidize, which is also controlled until the desired flavors are reached. Very cool. We love that. Okay. So is it made of actual tea, as in tea leaves? As in, like, the tea plant? I assume so. That sounds interesting. I would try that. You got sincerity overdose, genuinely. I don't know how to cope with it. It's very stressful. It's very stressful. You have to slightly increase the dose a little at a time. True. Caffeine pilled tea cell, so true, actually. That's every Irish person, though. Lately, I'm hooked on woodworking videos, despite having the dexterity of a drunk monkey. That's understandable. I kind of get that. You know, the ones that I really like watching are those ones where it's like someone cleaning a rug. Those are so satisfying. But I have also watched some woodworking videos of like someone making a table. So it'll be the ones where it's like, I got a really, really old slab of oak and it's got loads of bits missing from it. and now I'm going to turn it into a table and it's going to be lovely. And then they like fill in the holes with resin and stuff like that. I love those. They're so satisfying. Every time Psydere says black tea, I have to remember she's talking about what the Chinese call red tea. What? I've learned something today. Cultural exchange, that's what that is. Fun fact, most of the British tea comes from Keyman red tea cultivar. That's very interesting, actually. I didn't know that. That's very cool. It makes more sense to call it red because it does look red, actually. That does make more sense. I don't know why. Okay. British people being weird, as always. Pu'er is taking the tea one of the later stages and applying microbial post-fermentation on top. I see. That's very interesting. I see. I see. Oh. Mostly workshop building. Ooh, that sounds fun. That sounds fun. Okay. What are we doing? We're existing. But at what cost? I do like tea, so deeply and genuinely, if you want to put suggestions on there, like feel free to. Like I'm always down for trying new tea, but the thing is that I'm not very adventurous. I get scared. So then I end up never actually trying any of the new teas and it's very sad. Yeah. Yeah, bye. I think the tea neuron fired off. But what I've been told is that it's called black tea in English because the leaves are black compared to green tea, which is not roasted, so it's green. That makes a lot more sense, actually. That makes a lot more sense. I can see why that is called that. Yeah. Okay, so it's not just us coming up with funny names for things, as always. Which we do tend to do, to be fair. We certainly have a tendency for that. We have such a tendency for that. Oh dear. The British, the uncontrollable British urge to give strange names to things. I'm still confused about red black oolong teas because I thought oolong is Chinese for red. Yeah. I can't keep up with all of it. Like I want to learn more about this stuff, but I just know nothing. Stairs in my previous botanical medicine research. All right, I'm gonna make so many weird tea suggestions. Absolutely do it. Do it. Go for it. Naming silly things like a Euro PMC. Don't attack me. Don't attack me. Don't attack me. I don't need this. I don't need this. Okay. British tea tradition is more about adding spices, vanilla, chocolate, bergamot to their Darjeelings. Yeah. This is true. This is true. I'm not gonna lie, my favorite is Earl Grey, to be honest. I'm very stereotypical in that way. I'm a big Earl Grey enjoyer, so make of that what you will. Make of that what you will. Okay. I'm not gonna lie. I'm starting to get tired. And I don't know what I'm doing. I'm starting to lose my steam, as it were. I am a steam-powered entity and I'm starting to lose my steam. So I think with that, it might be time to wrap up. What should we do today? What should we do? What are we thinking? Is this person? No, that person is not. Okay. Where can we go? Where can we go? Where can we go? What should we do? What are we feeling? Can we do food guesser? Okay, we'll do one round of food guesser first. That's fine. We can do that. We can do that. One round of food guesser. Food. Foodguesser.com. And then I'm going here. And then I'm going... Where am I going? I'm confused. And then I'm going here. And then I'm going here. I'm on Food Guesser already. Look at me. I'm prepared. One round of Food Guesser, we will do it. Okay. Okay. Right. First one. Oh, that's a... Okay. Okay. That's... Okay. Right. Cheese, bread, pickle, ham, optional. Apple, optional. Boiled egg, optional. Salad vegetables, optional. This dish involves assembling a variety of items on a plate. Wow, what a great description. Start with a generous wedge of cheddar cheese. Add slices of crust. I know, right? Was like, hi to you. I hope you're good. Start with a generous wedge of cheddar cheese. Add slices of crusty bread and include some pickled onions. Arrange apple slices or grapes alongside. Incorporate a portion of ham or cold meats and add a dollop of chutney. Finally, include a hard-boiled egg and a side salad with lettuce, tomatoes, and cucumber. Looks like a charcuterie board. Balkan breakfast. It's not a Balkan breakfast. I know what this is. I know what this is. I know what this is. They have chutney. Seems to be British. You're on the right mind. You're on the right mind, Night Mind. Haha. No, that was just me reading your name wrong. Yes, you're on the right lines, Right Mind. Night Mind. Oh, bleh! Okay. I need to go to bed. This is getting silly. Yes. Because this is a pork pie. It's me favourite. I love myself a pork pie. I really do. They're my favourite. There's also chutney. And there is also my beloved... What is that cheese? It's meant to be cheddar. What? Okay. My beloved cheddar cheese and some raw onions. Delicious. Beautiful. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a ploughman's lunch, in which case it's English. How many ways can we mispronounce the name? I don't know. You two just dropping by on my way to bed. Thank you for dropping by, Tayu. And I hope you sleep good. If you're not here for long, that's also fine, of course. If you need to sleep, then please go. But yeah, thank you for dropping by. I think this is a ploughman's lunch. Yeah, look at that. I know my national dishes. Don't question me. Don't ever question my Britishness. One of the best British cuisine examples so far. Exactly. Random things on a plate. Yes. I have to actually lock in on figuring out how to eliminate 60 words. Take care, and I will find a way to throw all sorts of lovely variants of tea. Thank you, Bushy. Good luck. You can do it. You can cut out those words. I believe in you. You can do it. You can do it. I'm cheering you on. And thank you for dropping by. Thank you for spending time here today. Okay, I'm going to read this out. And just for all of you, because this is a British thing on Food Guesser, I'm going to do it in an accent. A ploughman's lunch is a traditional British cold meal. Its main components typically include cheese, bread, pickles, often accompanied by other items such as apples, boiled eggs, and cold meats. The cheese is frequently cheddar, though other British cheeses like What? Stillman's British? I've learned something today. The cheese is frequently cheddar, though other British cheeses like Stilton or Red Leicester may also be used. The dish itself has rural roots, tracing back to the simple fare consumed by agricultural workers. The term ploughman's lunch itself, however, is relatively modern. It became popular in the 1950s and 60s, largely due to a marketing campaign by the Milk Marketing Board, which aimed to promote the consumption of cheese in post-war Britain. Historical records suggest that meals similar to the ploughman's lunch have existed for centuries. Bread, cheese, and onions were common foods among the working class in medieval and agricultural England. As British pubs rebounded in the mid-20th century, the ploughman's lunch became a staple offering, providing a convenient, inexpensive, and easily prepared meal for patrons. The inclusion of items such as pickled onions, chutney, and even sometimes salad made it more appealing and balanced. Today, it remains popular in pubs and restaurants around the United Kingdom and other countries as well. The meal's straightforward, uncomplicated nature continues to resonate with those seeking traditional British fare. Pubs, yeah. It's me, I'm going down pub. Dave, I'll see you down pub. See you later. Oh dear. Okay, anyway, now I've offended the entirety of the English. You won a science award, congratulations. Thank you, No Talent Idiot Writes Music. Well, what a name, okay. Welcome in, how are you doing? Thank you. I did actually. I did actually win a science award, believe it or not. I won a commendation from the Society for the Improvement of Psychological Science for my outreach as a VTuber. So actually, it's not a lie. I actually did. Welcome in. Okay. We've got the ploughman's lunch. Perfect. We've done it. 100%. We can do this. Okay. Pasta, cannellini beans, olive oil. I'm sorry. Now the accent's stuck. I'm going to keep doing it. Award-winning VTuber. So true. I've never won a VTuber award, but I've won an academic award, allegedly. Okay. No, I actually have. It's not alleged. Okay. Pasta, cannellini beans, olive oil, garlic, onion, tomatoes, celery, carrots, rosemary, bay leaf, salt, black pepper, parmesan cheese, optional, pancetta, optional, chicken broth, optional, vegetable broth, optional, red pepper flakes, optional, ditalini pasta, optional, thyme, optional. This dish is a hearty, comforting soup featuring tender pasta and creamy beans, simmered in a savoury tomato broth. Aromatic vegetables like onions, carrots, and celery add depth, while garlic and herbs such as rosemary or thyme infuse rich flavour. Often finished with a drizzle of olive oil and a sprinkling of Parmesan cheese, this rustic meal warms the heart with every spoonful. Lovely. Yes, Italy. Yeah, this is very Italy coded, isn't it? Very Italy coded. Definitely Italy. Best science divulgator VTuber. Yes, I agree. I'm trying my best anyway. No, to be fair, there's lots of really, really good science VTubers. It's like so many people are starting to do science content as VTubers or like tech content too, and it makes me so happy. It makes me so happy. I can't say I'm the best anymore. I'm just the first one to be academically recognized. Okay. It's pasta and fagioli? Pasta e fagioli? Is that how you say it? Translated to pasta and beans. Wow, it's very, very direct. Okay. It says it's a traditional Italian dish known for its simplicity and versatility. Originating as a peasant dish, it was commonly made with inexpensive and readily available ingredients, primarily pasta and beans. It reflects a resourceful nature of Italian cuisine, where regional and seasonal variations were common. The primary ingredients of pasta e fagioli. Not really. Oh, okay. I'm ruining it. Okay. I apologize. Pasta and beans, usually cannellini or borlotti beans. The type of pasta can range from small shapes like ditalini to various short pasta cuts. The base typically includes olive oil, garlic, onions, and tomatoes, and may be flavoured with herbs like rosemary or parsley. Meat like pancetta or sausage is sometimes added for more flavour, though it's not a requirement. The history is not tied to any specific region, but it's prevalent throughout Italy, with each region adapting the dish to its local tastes. In the north, it's often made with thicker consistency and might include butter, while in the south, it might be lighter and spicier. In some versions, the soup is pureed partially to thicken the broth. Nutritionally, the dish is valued for its balance of carbohydrates and protein. The combination of pasta and beans provides a complete protein source, making it a staple for many Italians, particularly during times of economic hardship. It's crossed international borders and become popular in other countries, notably in Italian-American communities, where variations might include additional ingredients like carrot, celery, or different spices. Its enduring popularity can be attributed to its comforting nature and the ease of which it can be adapted to suit different preferences and availability of ingredients. Fagioli. Like that. Pasta e fagioli. Like that? I don't know. That is probably bad. I apologise. I can't say it. What can I say? I'm English. I'll just ruin everything I touch. Okay, we're on the last one. Okay. Ingredients. Plantains, pork, lard, salt, chicharron, garlic, onion, olive oil, pepper, lemon juice, cilantro, that's coriander, right? Butter, fried onion, optional. Okay. This is a dish. It's a traditional meal made from green plantains that are peeled, boiled, and then mashed into a dough-like consistency. The mixture is often mixed with pork cracklings, imparting a savoury flavour. The plantain mixture is formed into balls and usually served with meats like cecina or chorizo. Known for its hearty and satisfying nature, this dish is commonly enjoyed during breakfast or as a filling meal. Very cute. Realised what I had early tomorrow is actually on Monday, so I am back which I guess is now tomorrow again. That's so relatable. I understand. That happens to me all the time. Welcome back. Yeah, some sort of former Spanish colony. I think so. Because, yeah, chorizo, right? I'm trying to think where uses plantains, but I don't know. I associate plantains with, like... Do they have plantains in Latin America? Because I associate it more with, like... I think Caribbean? Maybe... I'm thinking, is there somewhere, like, on the north east coast or in the Caribbean that this could be? Where they grow plantains, yeah, I think so. Okay. I'm going to take a stab at... Can we work out any context clues from the surroundings? Not really. No, not really. Okay. Part of the Caribbean is Latin and American. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. That's what I was thinking. Guyana, you think? Guyana sounds like a good shout. Let's go with that. Okay, warm. Southwest of Guyana. I don't actually know where Guyana is. That's the one that's like right in the top right corner, right? Yeah. Thinking. Wouldn't be Colombia again, would it? Oh, borders Colombia. Okay. Oh dear, what's southwest of Colombia? I don't remember. I'm thinking, I don't know. Suriname and France, yeah. Okay. Ecuador, Panama, Mexico. I think Panama and Mexico are above it though, right? And this is saying southwest. Ecuador could be. Hi the Pro Ari, welcome in. Maybe Ecuador. I don't know. I don't know Latin American geography very well. Hello? Am I spelling that right? Okay. Peru? Maybe? Argentina? I mean, that doesn't border Colombia though, does it? It borders Colombia. So it's got to be in the north of the country. It's the one that's like... I don't know. Oh, you thought someone said France, so I thought I'd give a French greeting. I see. I did not read that as bonsoir because that is not how you spell it, and I was very confused. Welcome in. Good evening, indeed. I think it's Ecuador and Peru if it borders Colombia. Yeah, I'll trust you and I'll go with Peru. I can't spell. Oh my gosh. Peru. Nice. Good shout. Well done. Okay. Tacacho is a traditional dish from the Peruvian Amazon. It's closely associated with the culinary traditions of the indigenous communities in the region. It primarily consists of green plantains, which are peeled, boiled, or roasted, and then mashed. The mashed plantains are then... the mashed plantains are usually mixed with lard, typically from pork, which gives the dish a rich flavour and a smooth texture. In some variations, pieces of fried pork, chicharron, are added to the mixture. Historically, tacacho has been a staple food of the indigenous people in the Amazon basin area. It's often prepared as part of festive occasions and gatherings, including patron saint festivals. The preparation method reflects the resourcefulness of... I swear they say this about every single one. Like, am I making this up? I swear they say this about every single one, the resourcefulness of the local people. The preparation method reflects the resourcefulness of the communities in utilising the ingredients readily available in their environment, particularly plantains, which are a staple crop in the region. The name tacacho is thought to derive from the Quechua. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Quechua word takatsu, meaning beaten, likely referring to the mashing process of the plantains. The dish is spread throughout Peru and is commonly found in local restaurants, particularly in the cities near the Amazon region. Takatsu is often served alongside other traditional dishes such as cecina, dried pork, or chorizo. The combination of takatsu with meats makes it a hearty meal. It reflects the broader culinary traditions of Peru's Amazonian region, characterized by a reliance on plantains, yuca, and local meats. Today, takatsu continues to be an important part of the cultural identity and dietary practices of the people in the Peruvian Amazon. It remains popular among locals and tourists alike who seek to experience authentic Amazonian cuisine. Very nice. Cooking is resourcefulness, unironically. You can't cook what you don't have. This is true, and I don't know why they keep saying it, because every class, no, that's not right, not class. Every local people, there we go. Like everywhere you go, the local people have had to just work with what they've got, so it's just a bit strange. It's a bit of a weird comment. What are we doing? We're playing Food Guesser, but we've literally just finished the last round, so so it was like guess where the food comes from, basically. The first one was English, so I knew it. I was very happy. I've been to so many pubs and I've seen so many ploughman's lunches. It was very exciting. Okay, overall we got 14,000 out of 15,000, so that's pretty good. We did good. Well done, everybody. Well done. That's some good stuff. Toast sandwich represents the resourcefulness of the local people. It's so true. So true, actually. I literally can't deny it. Like, it does represent our resourcefulness. What have we got? We've got bread. We've got bread. So, double the bread. Easy. I know nothing about food, but I spent a month mastering those geography quizzes, so I know my countries. See, this is the thing. I'm quite good at Asia, and I'm quite good at Europe. I'm getting better at Africa. North America and Latin America, I'm very, very shaky. I'm very shaky. I think sometimes I can name them, but I can't place them. And then Oceania, I just don't bother. There's no chance. I can get Australia and New Zealand and like Tuvalu and Vanuatu, and then everything else I forget exists. Every time I do a quiz, I'm like, what are all these islands? And then it's like, Fiji. And I'm like, I know Fiji exists. Why do I keep forgetting about Fiji? This is so annoying. I think I got to like 185 out of 191 consistently, but those Caribbean and South Pacific islands, honestly, they're so difficult. I'm the same. I can't do it. I can't do it. Are you British? Yes, unfortunately. Unfortunately, the suffering never ends. It never ends. Okay. So, we've been yapping. The yapping, we've done the food guesser. And you know what that means? You know what happens whenever we do food guesser? It's time to leave. No more. We're done now. It's time to wrap up. We can share in the pain of Britishness. You know what's up. You know what's up. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Welcome in. Yeah, we suffer. We suffer extensively. It never ends. I live to suffer purely on the basis of British. Oh dear. Who are we raiding? That's a good question. I've got a list. Do we want more chatting? Or do we want something else? Do we want chatting? Or do we want a game? These are your two options. And who we raid will depend on your choice. Who we raid will depend on your choice. A vote for Bixia? Yeah, potentially. Catting? There's no catting. Why are we here just to suffer? Honestly. Genuinely. Exactly that. Exactly that. Why are we here just to suffer? I am suffering. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, okay. I know where we're going. Okay. I vote for independence. That's valid. That's valid. Raid message. There you go. raid message. Did you know that we have a second raid message? I bet you didn't know that, because I always forget myself. There's a choice. There's a choice. A choice. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, no, actually, I do actually need an answer. Do you prefer chatting or do you prefer game? Because if you want chatting, then I will go where I will probably end up after the stream. And if you want a game, then I will raid somewhere else. Tell me. Tell me. Stop sitting there in silence. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you want, please. I'm struggling. I can't make decisions. I'm so indecisive. I'm so indecisive. Can we run a poll? Yeah, let's do a poll. I wonder if I'll get beaten to it. Yes, I got beaten to it. Thank you, Hosmod. If we never answer, Sai will keep streaming. It's true. It's true. I do actually want to go though, because it's late here and I'm not gonna lie. I'm tired and my shark, my IKEA shark is calling me. It was my IKEA shark's birthday today, so I need to go celebrate with him. Game or chatting? What are we thinking? We're thinking chatting. Oh, it's 5-2. 5 chatting, 2 game. What's gonna be the answer? We got more chatting. Okay, we're going chatting then. By the looks of it, we're going chatting. Okay. Let's see. That. And that. Okay, there are... Okay. Okay, I know where we're going. Cool. A British person with a good sleep schedule, I know. I know, what does it come to? What does it come to? What does it come to? Hydrate, thank you, Nightmind. Thank you. I will do that. Okay. We're going to go raid another impromptu chatting stream because that's what we like to see. That's what we like to see. You're inspired by Nap. So true. So true. Okay. Wait, no, never mind. They've just ended. Okay. Where are we going? Let's chat about mummification. Do you want to learn about mummification? Let's go learn about mummification. Apparently that's what we're doing. Okay. We're going to go learn about mummification. Let's do that. Let's do an educational stream, you know? Let's do that. I forgot to click vote and was staring at it confused to see as to why the number wasn't changing. That's valid. I do that sometimes too. Okay, so we're gonna go and raid Melissa in Denial, who is an Egyptologist, and I think has the that. I think it's just what a brilliant username. 10 out of 10. Brilliant. I don't know anything about Egyptology, so this is going to be interesting. And yeah, talking about mummification. So let's learn some mummification, I guess. This could be fun. This could be fun. Let's see. As a reminder, I heard it's a pyramid scheme. That's very funny. That's so true, actually. I'm not gonna lie. The other reason why I'm ending stream is because my belly is hurting out of nowhere and I can't laugh because it hurts. So that's the other reason. I could have probably gone for another, I don't know, another hour, but I can't. Hi Z! Welcome in, hi! I'm literally just ending, we're about to raid, but thank you, it's going well, I hope you're good. I don't know when the next stream's gonna be. Probably at some point I'll do a co-working stream soon. So I look out for that, I guess. Check out notifications. I need to go. Sorry, it's about to run out of time. Thank you all for joining me. I really appreciate it. I hope to see you next time. Bye!